Fresh Start fam, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be discussing my goals for 2024. We will also be discussing where did my money go in 2023 for the month of December. So one of the things that I saw about goals is that you should have them written out with action steps. So that's what I went ahead and did. My first goal is to save $2,400 in my emergency fund. That is $200 a month, which I think is totally obtainable. The action steps that I have for that is to, number one, do my savings challenges. So part of my budget is to do $200 a month in savings challenges. That right there would equate to the $2,400 in the emergency fund. I also would like to do weekly budget check-ins through YouTube videos. I think that would be completely doable. And then I want to stay in budget on larger expenses. So take, for instance, like vacations. If we plan a, let's say, $5,000 vacation with incidentals and all those types of things, sometimes those can go up to $8,000, $9,000 with little extras, but I want to stay within budget on those things. Or say, for instance, we are in the market for a new mattress. We had looked at ones that were $1,000, but by the time you add in the sheet set, the, hybrid, so many different extras, it could go up to $4,000 or $5,000. So I'm okay with spending that money as long as it's in the budget. But sometimes with some expenses larger, we just have a tendency to get carried away or go a little over budget on those things. So I know I'll be able to attain this goal if I can stay within budget on those larger expenses. My goal number 2 is to stay in budget on groceries. So one thing you guys will notice when I go over my December, where did my money go, is we went way over budget on groceries. And I asked my husband, I said, we do a lot of Costco shopping. I said, did we buy things for the house that were marked as groceries or that I didn't know were part of the home budget, but we calculated them as groceries? And no, it was just groceries. We spent $1,681 this month on groceries, which to me, for a family of 4, just seems ridiculous. Yes, we hosted a few get-togethers, but we also put extra in the budget for those hosting things. So it just seems ridiculous to spend that much money. So I definitely have a goal of staying on budget in groceries. And there's 3 ways I'm going to do that. Number 1 is through meal prepping. I am not great at meal prepping, but I would like to get better. Number 2 is learning to love leftovers. I work from home. I don't love leftovers, but I need to learn to love them or make things that I know I will like to eat as leftovers. And then action step number 3 will be to grow what we can in the summer. We have a garden. We just started it last year. And so I would like to grow more things that we will eat and grow more things that we can use to cut down on the grocery budget. Goal number 3 is to just move more. I'm not going to make it a weight loss goal. It's just more activity. I feel better when I get more activity in my day. So I'd like to do a daily walk, either by myself or walking one of my dogs. The action step number 2 is to close my Apple rings. I have an Apple Watch, and as you can see here, my green, which is my exercise ring, has hardly moved at all today. I have 1 minute of exercise. So I want to close more of these rings in order to just feel like I've done something. And then action step number 3, for a period of about 6 weeks, I was waking up an hour earlier and I was getting in a workout in the morning. I felt great, and I felt like no matter what I did throughout my day, I had at least accomplished that. I was able to close usually my red ring, which is calories burned, and my green ring, which was physical activity and exercise. And then I just felt so much better. So I think I'd like to get back into waking up earlier in order to work out. And then goal number 4 is mental health. I want to do more reading challenges. I did a reading challenge for 2023. My goal was to read 25 books. I read 24, so I missed it by 1. And I'd like to alternate what I'm reading. So one day I'll read a true crime. The next day I'll read a nonfiction. The third day I'll read a self-help. The fourth time I'll read, or not day, but the third, I'll rotate the books that I read. So I read a wide variety of things, but I like doing reading challenges. They keep me really engaged on what I'm reading, what's going on out there. And like I said, I alternate what I'm reading between different things, different categories and genres. So it keeps me really in the know on a bunch of different things, and it helps me learn too. Action step number 2 is to Bible study, pray, or engage more with church. And then action step number 3 is to get back into therapy. I used to go to therapy, and then I ended up switching insurances when I switched jobs. So I have not found a new therapist through my new company's insurance. So I've been using my mom, who is a life coach. And although she gives wonderful advice and is super non-judgmental on anything that I'm going through, it's still my mom. So I would like to find somebody that is covered under my insurance that I could go to as well. So this is my goals. I will have this posted on my desk here so I can check in on these periodically throughout the year. What are your goals for 2024? I'd really like to know that. And anyways, these are not resolutions. I don't like resolutions. I think any sort of improvement is absolutely that. And it's an improvement. If I can improve on one of these categories, I'll think it's a success. If I can improve on all 4 of these categories, even just an improvement, I'll call it a success. So I don't like making resolutions. These are goals, and any improvement is okay with me. Okay, so now let's get into my where did my money go for December of 2023. So we have our mortgage is $1,100, and that's what we spent. Groceries, we budgeted $1,000. We typically budget $1,000 a month, but we added $250 in for hosting of holiday get-togethers. So our total monthly allotted towards groceries was $1,250, and as previously stated, we went way over with $1,681 for a total overage of $431, which that just seems crazy to me. I don't know what it is, guys. It was legit all groceries. Like I said, I asked my husband if any of our Costco shopping was things for the house, like a new trash can or that type of stuff. And we do calculate into this like toilet paper, trash bags, cleaning supplies, that type of stuff, home items, but it's still usually we're able to stick under $100,000. And this month, I don't know what it was. It just went crazy, but it is what it is. My goal, again, is to stay within this budget of $1,000 next year. So dining and entertainment, we budgeted $450. We spent $404. So we had a surplus in that category of $46. In previous months, we were in the negative. So I think that's all squared away. Gas bill, this is natural gas for the house. We monthly budget of $80. We spent $83. We were on the budget for the house, and we have an overage of, a deficit of $3, but for 2023 altogether, we had a huge surplus, so that -3 is able to come out of that without impacting us in any way. Electric, we budgeted $100, we spent $83, we have a surplus of $17. Water and sewer, we budgeted $80, we spent $74, we have a surplus of $6. TV, music, storage, we budgeted $60, we spent $50, we have a surplus of $10. Home and auto, we budgeted $500, we spent $144, we have a surplus of $356. Again, we are saving for a new mattress and bed in this category, so this is going to be like a sinking fund here that we have towards saving for something like that. Health and beauty, we budgeted $100, we spent $75, we have a surplus of $25. Fuel, we budget $100, we spent $72, we have a surplus of $28. Church and charity, we budgeted $110, we spent $168, we had a deficit of $58, but from previous month's surpluses, we are totally fine on that. This is December, so this was the big month for giving and donations. I had posted a couple shorts on giving donations, so that's totally fine. We have that money in there to cover that. Cell phone, we budgeted $250, we spent $240, so we have a surplus of $10. Clothes, we budgeted $80. My husband got a pair of pants and I got a t-shirt for $40, so we have a surplus of $40. For investments, we budgeted $80. We only spent $34, so we have a surplus of $46. And then for kids, we had a budget of $200. We spent $279 for different activities. We have a deficit of $79. And then for pets, we budgeted $80, but as previously stated in other videos, I budgeted $20 a month for my 3 dogs for most of 2023, so we were way in the negative on that. So we needed to make up some of that difference, and that's what we're doing now. So that's why we're budgeting 80. We only spent 27. So we had a surplus of $53, but again, because of that huge deficit that we're in from previous times, we are just starting to get into the black on that. We're not quite there yet, but we're just starting to. So overall, we had a surplus of $66 for December of 2023. This is the main number that I focus on. These categories can fluctuate a little bit, like this grocery category here. If we don't have enough to cover this, we'll borrow from another category a little bit, but this is part of my goal for 2024 is to not go this far in the deficit on certain categories like kids, groceries, that type of stuff, or to have sinking funds in place in order to make up for that instead of IOUing from a different category. So that's where my money went for December 2023. How did you guys do for December 2023? Did you stay in budget? Did you have a surplus? Did you have a deficit? I'd like to hear about that. Also about your goals. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, and comment down below. And if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a good day. Bye-bye.